Hi there. For today's recipe, I need you to grab salted butter, followed by half an onion. We want to chop the onion before adding it into our bowl. You can also add more than half of an onion if you're an onion lover. I don't like to overdo it, so I'm just gonna cut half an onion for now. Once you have the onion chopped to your liking, you can put it into the bowl and set aside. Next ingredient you're going to need is salt. I use the Himalayan pink salt, so keep that in mind when you're cooking. Next, we're going to be using pepper, followed by some garlic. I am using pre-minced garlic to make it easier. Next, we are going to be using all-purpose white flour, sharp cheddar cheese, or extra sharp, whichever you prefer. You are going to want carrots. I buy the chopped ones to make adding them in a breeze. And you can't have broccoli and cheddar soup without broccoli. We want to make sure you don't have too big of pieces so that they cook more consistently. Once you feel you have chopped enough for you, add them into the bowl and set aside. We are going to be using milk. I'm using 2%. You can use whatever you like. Followed by chicken broth. I'm using the Great Value brand, but again, feel free to use whatever brand you prefer. Then you are going to need some kind of Dijon mustard for a hint of zesty flavor. I'm using Grey Poupon. Now that I have showed you everything you will need and prepared a little bit, let's get started. Turning the burner on medium and adding half a stick of salted butter. And we're going to wait for the butter to fully melt, adding pepper, only a few turns for now, and then some salt. We're going to add half a teaspoon to start, mixing well before adding in the onions. We want them to cook with the butter. Stir and mix well before adding 3 half a teaspoons of garlic. Truly, you can add as much or as little of this garlic as you want. Stirring and let simmer for about 3 to 5 minutes or until your onions are a translucent color. Once they are, you can add about half a cup of flour to the pot. Next, grab a whisk and stir continuously while the mixture browns. It usually takes about 3 to 5 minutes. Once you have your roux mix done, you can slowly add the 2 cups of milk. Continuously stir the mixture until it's thoroughly mixed in. This process can take a few minutes of the whisking. Once you have that mixed well, we are going to add the chicken broth. I'm going to add the whole box. I have made this a few times in a couple different ways. Being made with chicken broth is my favorite. I have tried a couple different recipes that use vegetable broth or vegetable stock, and I much prefer with the chicken broth. Next, we are going to add all the carrots just mixing the bag in, or you can cut up 2 large carrots if you prefer to do it that way. Followed by the broccoli. After being chopped up is about 2 cups worth you'll be adding to the mix. Now we just let the veggies cook and soak up in the broth for about 20 to 25 minutes. Stirring throughout before adding half a teaspoon of Dijon mustard. After you stir and cook the vegetables enough, you can add the cheese. I shredded the whole block, but I am only going to add about 60%, which is just over half a pound of cheddar cheese. You, of course, can add as little as you like or as much as you like. After you add the cheese, you let the cheese cook into the soup for about 10 to 15 minutes before serving. I love this with some fresh bread and butter. You can even top your soup with cheese if you want when you're done. I don't do it that way, but more power for you to do whatever you want. Now that my soup is done, I want to add some more pepper, just to do a taste test. Oh, yum. That needs some more salt too, but that's delicious. And you know I'm adding more pepper also. I just love pepper. Remember to add these ingredients to your taste. Once you have it seasoned how you like, let it simmer for 5 more minutes or 20. Honestly, you can let it sit for however long. I like my veggies to be nice and cooked and the cheese to soak into everything. Okay, now that our soup is finished, let's get a big bowl and test it out. Making sure to get all the yummy veggies on the bottom. Let's try it. Excuse the noise of my fridge. Let's check out the soup a little bit closer. Let's take a bite. You can throw croutons in here, more cheese. I like to eat it with some bread. Walmart has like $1 loaf for those long French breads. Oh, so good with this. Let's take a bite. They're so good. Cheesy, delicious. All the modifications that I make, so much better than the recipe I followed. Oh, so good. I hope you enjoyed. Bye.